everybody. Welcome back. Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. We're going to stay in Knoxville, Tennessee on the Eastern Time Zone. Going to roll right down to Bradley County and going to talk to the head coach of the Cleveland Blue Raiders, head coach Chandler Tygard. Coach, welcome to the show.
What's up, Stork? How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. You finished 6-5 overall last year, 2-3 in the region, and you're in your second season in East Tennessee. And how's that going for you?
Man, it's going good. Obviously, year two is always a lot smoother than year one.
I can tell you that, especially under your regime. I know that. I've watched you. It's tough to pick up because you're moving very fast, and the kids have got to pay attention to what you're saying.
Yeah, and it's, we always change. We had a lot of staff turnover. We've got one returning coach from the previous staff, and so it's just new for everybody. And then year two, typically goes pretty smooth, and the offense really gets going. And so we're seeing a lot of good things, man. Like we've done some field house renovations. We got new flooring put in, all new whiteboards and TVs, and we just got the kids some couches in the locker room. We're putting in a barber shop. So we're getting all kinds of neat little things for the kids and rewarding them for all their hard work.
So when you look at the Cleveland Blue Raiders and you start thinking about the region you're in, and now you've got the feel for what the template looks like and what you've got to do to whether we come to you or you come to us for the week 4 game, how do you get there, Coach, in coming out of that region since you played in it one time?
Yeah, our region's pretty tough. I mean, non-region-wise, we play all the local Chattanooga 5A schools, but for our region, outside of Bradley Central, we have to travel to Knoxville every single week, or they're traveling to us. So you've got a big traveling, budget when it comes to the buses and meals and all that kind of stuff. A lot of logistics going into that. And then when they come to you, they're not necessarily bringing a lot of fans. So financially, it kind of hurts when they're coming from an hour and change away. So, that part's different. And then the other thing is just numbers-wise. So Cleveland, we're really about a 5A school numbers-wise in our program, playing in a very tough region in 6A. And so we're having to pivot next year and kind of make some changes and get it figured out a little bit. I was actually on the phone with Coach Watson from Oakland earlier today, so we were talking some ball. So, so we got to figure it out. When you got to go through Bearden, arguably one of the most talented teams in the state, Maryville and how good they are every year, not to mention Farragut, Bradley Central, Hardin Valley. There's not a lot of easy weeks. And then the way our schedule was set up for us when I got here, we play a bye week, and then we have to play Bearden, Maryville, and Bradley back to back to back. And so once that hits the end of our season, that's pretty tough right there after the bye.
When you look at when you look at Cleveland, would you like to get into the 5A? Do they need to be in 5A? I mean, or is there a way to get there as far as from a student body standpoint?
We're about 300 students away. There is some discussions about that just because of the demographics of our school is changing so much. They talked about doing like a freshman academy or an ESL academy and stuff like that. So we're talking. There's discussions about that. I mean, obviously, Cleveland in the 90s when they won the 3 titles and all the success, it was in the class below the largest classification.
Yes.
So last year, actually, Stork was the first time Cleveland has been ranked in the top 10 in the highest classification since we've been put in the 6A. So, it definitely challenges us from a number standpoint, but, I mean, we do have good athletes here. We're building the program, and the one advantage we do have is it's truly K through 12. So we started a 9th grade team last year, and they had a great season. They won 6 games playing a full JV schedule. And then next year we're actually building a 6th grade team for the first time in a long time. So within 2 years, football's kind of getting our numbers back up, and we've created 2 new teams. But it's going to take a couple years just to see the fruits of all that labor. Our freshmen, we had 42 freshmen last year on the team. And so they'll all be sophomores next year. But at the same time, we're only playing with 12 seniors next year. So until the freshmen in the middle school and all the effort we're putting into that, it's kind of building the program the old school way. Not really as many transfers down here as it is in Middle Tennessee, and you're just kind of putting all your eggs in the young kids' basket, and then you just got to wait for them to mature.
Yeah, and I always, when you were talking about size of schools and stuff, in my opinion, if Laverne was in 5A, Laverne would win state championships. There's no question. I mean, they're right there. They can't compete in 6, but if you drop that student body at Laverne High School down to a 5A school, that would make them they'd be competitive in 5A. Very competitive.
Yeah, there's a big difference. I mean, Oak Ridge is one of the largest 5As, so they obviously have a lot of talent, and their schedule sets up pretty good for it. If we were in 5A sort, then we're playing all the Chattanooga teams, so you're playing right here in town, Walker Valley, then you've got your Ooltewah, your East Hamilton, your McMinn County, your Ray County. They're all right here around us. That's kind of who we play in a non-region schedule anyways.
Yep.
But just playing 6A, it's just tough because we're in that Knoxville region. Now, I hope maybe we'll start adding some teams into 6A or some teams move up, and then maybe there'll be some closer, if Walker Valley moves up to 6A or Ooltewah or somebody like that, then we'll get some more local games. But it's hard just from a filling the stand standpoint in Gates, when Hardin Valley and Fair getting all them, they're having to drive over an hour to come down here.
You are geographically challenged, no different than Dobbins-Bennett, and because Dobbins-Bennett, in order for them to even think about, you've got enough problem trying to come through Knoxville to get to Nashville or Chattanooga to go to the state championship, but it would be hard for them or hard for a Nashville team to play somebody from Far East Tennessee, Tri-Cities area, just to do something different to try to compete with one of them. I mean, because Dobbins-Bennett's got great facilities, so you would love to go up there and take the kids, but like you said, we'd have to charter buses and so on and so forth to get the
and that's the region we match up with in the first round of the playoffs. So we call it Jefferson County last year, and there's a good chance we could get Science Hill or Dobbins-Bennett, but it's a haul, man. So we're already talking about if we got to travel to one of those teams, getting charter buses or doing the hotel thing. I mean, it's hard to get on the bus in Murfreesboro, go all the way out to Maryville, and get off the bus and win.
Oh God, you can't do it.
Yeah. So we're talking about logistics-wise in the first round of the playoffs. There's a good chance we're going to see one of those teams.
Are you looking? Do you think you could try to scrimmage one of them, or in the fall, and try to meet them halfway up the road and meet them at a neutral site and try to play a Science Hill or a Dobbins-Bennett for a quickie?
Yeah, honestly, I've been looking for scrimmages, and it's been challenging for us. So we're actually going to scrimmage Campbell County, which is kind of headed up.
I know where Campbell County is. I know exactly where it is.
And we've got a spring game with Upperman High School coming down to Cleveland. So Coach Kane's bringing his 4A runner-ups down here.
The Upperman Bees.
That's right. Yeah, so they're coming down for a spring game in May, so we're excited about that one. We've got a scrimmage with Campbell County. We're doing a scrimmage of a Little League all the way up jamboree-type deal with East Hamilton and splitting the gate with them and kind of hoping to do that every year where our 6U plays each other, 8U, 10U, 12U, and all the way up. So that's going to be a nice one, and then we're trying to figure out our third scrimmage right now.
So are you getting your barber certificate, or is there somebody there on the staff that actually has a stylist, type situation?
Yeah. One of our youth league coaches is he owns the barbershop, the House of Style here in town. My man Big T, and so he donated a chair for the cause. And then we've got our Miss McCroskey, our cosmetology teacher, Stork, has come down, and she's helping us actually design this barbershop. And it looks like the one that, like some of these colleges have and all that, with like a graffiti wall. And we're doing haircuts on Thursday nights right before Friday night games. And we're putting up all the alumni stuff in there. So all the guys off the 90s and 2000s teams, they'll see their pictures and they can come in there and get their haircut and hang out with the kids. And so it's actually been a really neat idea. It was the old head coach office. And so I gave it to the kids, and then I moved into the offensive staff room, and they've got a couch and a chair that lights up in LED lights, and so it's pretty neat.
Well, it never ceases to amaze me. You've always got something going on. Are we going to shoot anybody out of a cannon this fall, or are we going to parachute in? What do you got? What are you going to try to do that's totally different?
Yeah, we got some LED lights on the way. We got we switched from Under Armour to Nike next year, so we'll have some brand new uniforms coming out. Like me, they're pretty loud. They're pretty flashy and exciting. Got a new helmet.
You ain't got chrome helmets.
Alternative.
You got chrome helmets.
We had blue chrome helmets last year, and then we have a kind of a different look that we can mix and match this year. And we brought in the cannon for the military night, so we brought in one of our neighbors, he had the big old cannon. He fired that sucker off, and we're constantly looking for ideas. We're talking about having some sort of Hispanic Heritage Night, because we've got a lot of that around here, and trying to get those people out. We're giving out vuvuzelas. I mean, we're always looking at something to make some ticket money around here, buddy.
Yeah, I've been to some schools that have a train horn, and I've been to some that have a semi horn, and I've been to some that had like an old tugboat, like you'd hear a tugboat, I mean, there's and then now Siegel, when they had the big run with Stockstill, they shot fireworks every time, when Wyatt was running the score up on everybody, there was a fireworks show every Friday night over at Siegel if they were home. We had those we had them at Blackman come out of our ag teacher's backyard right across from the scoreboard. Remember? So we're talking about doing some of that stuff here. We've got a pretty nice setup. So the only thing is that our stadium's got a big track around it, and there's a big concrete buffer. And so the fans are really far away from the playing field, unlike Maryville and some of those Clinton or some of those other where they're right on top of you. We do the live DJ during the games, but we're really trying to think of ideas to kind of, give us a home field advantage just because the fans are so far away. But we do have a nice Jumbotron, and so we're trying to get some new Jumbotron graphics and third down stuff and, some WWE themed third downs. And, so we're trying to make it fun. It takes a lot of work. Hopefully you'll get all that together. Is there anything else you're going to try to do between now and what's the spring look like? You got a couple of when do you go? When are you going for spring?
We don't start till we're going to go the last 2 weeks of school, so we're going to go really late in May. About the second, we're going to start second week of May. We got a good 7-on-7 circuit going down here. It's real popular in Middle Tennessee. But there hadn't been a lot of 7-on-7 options in Chattanooga or our area. And so we've got some people that have kind of put together a league between us, Dalton, Georgia, and Chattanooga. So the kids are doing that right now. We have our annual lift-a-thon, where they come and max out for donations. That's next week. And then, we got to get going. We're going to start meeting with a couple college clinics and stuff, my staff, and we start meeting in March and April, and then we go full go. Basically start our season, and spring practice hits in May.
Coach, it's always a pleasure to talk to you and everything as we continue the Wednesday night edition of Inside the Headset. If you get over this way, give me a whistle. But other than that, stay safe and keep coming up with ideas. And if there's anything I can do, always feel free to reach out.
Will do, man. Tell Judy and Anthony and everybody hello for me.
All right, I will, Coach. See you. Bye.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Bye.